So, good evening everyone. Ang tatalakayin ko po ngayon ay ang mga legal and ethical issues in human resource management. Sabihin natin, there are many legal issues with regards to human resources. But before that, we must first understand the labor laws in human resources. And another one, what are the types of laws that are affecting the human resources? Ano po? Such as, halimbawa, yung federal laws affecting human resource management. Okay? So, to start with, kailangan malaman muna natin the importance of understanding the HR legal issues. Ano po? Kasi nga sabi natin, the role of human resources in the workplace has never been more important aside from its traditional functions such as recruitment, payroll. HR professionals must also have a comprehensive understanding of relevant and updated HR law and its corresponding regulations. These HR's employment laws regulate hiring and firing, workplace safety, benefits, and pay, and confidentiality, and serve to protect against discriminatory practices and harassment. The HR also provide guidance in event of workplace conflicts and complaints. Another thing to understand is the human resource legal compliance. Legal compliance protects both the employee and the employers, as well as the company. They are bound to operate within the framework that governs the workplace environment. This organization must implement policies and procedures which align state and federal law with the strategies and objectives of the company. Failure to keep to date the new HR law can result in fines, penalties, and in some cases, legal proceedings. So, kapag po hindi sila nag-comply, it can affect their reputation as a company. So, knowledge of this law is a key for requirement for any organization. This is often a challenging as law vary different from states and jurisdictions. Halimbawa, kung nandito ka sa Pilipinas, ano-ano ba yung mga HR laws na ipinapatupad? Kailangan updated yung company na kinabibilangan mo. For us, yung school na kinabibilangan natin. Pero paano nga ba nakaka-apekto itong mga HR law sa human resource management? As an HR professionals, we must stay informed of the changes in law. It is our duty to proactively review and update internal policy to ensure workplace compliance. So, for now, let us see what are those legal issues that we face in human resource management. I have here a list of the different issues or most common issues. The first thing on the list is equal employment opportunity. As a matter of fact, ito po ay sa United States. Pero nakita ko po na possible din siya na applicable dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. In another term, we can say that is the anti-discrimination law. An example po ng discrimination, for example, dati kapag sinabi nating teacher, limited siya sa mga kababaihan, pambabaeng trabaho yan. But it's not. Ngayon kahit lalaki ay maaari nang makapagturo without discriminating them. So that is an example of equal employment opportunity when it comes to gender. Another one is compensation. For us unable to survive for our daily living, we must give proper compensation to employees. With regards naman po to labor relations, so ano-ano yung mga ibinibigay sa atin na requirement upon hiring? Kasi as an HR, sila po yung may hawak nitong sila yung may hawak ng mga hiring processes. And then another one, employee safety and health. Employers have an obligation to maintain a safe workplace. Sabi nga natin, employees who are injured on the job or contract award-related illnesses and suffer temporary or permanent impairment may file for state worker compensation benefits. So, kabilang din po sa employee safety and health ay yung mga ini-enjoy natin na halimbawa maternity leave, sick leave, and the like. Another legal issue is the sexual harassment. It is sexual harassment in the workplace is a form of sex discrimination Okay, it has also defined as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of sexual nature. When submission to or rejection of such conduct is used as the basis for employment decisions, no po? Or such conduct has the purpose or effect of creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment. Sexual harassment can involve men or women. The harasser does not have to be of the opposite sex. Sabi nga natin, the harasser can be the victim's supervisor, an agent of the employer, a supervisor in another area, a co-worker, or a non-employee. The victim does not have to be the person harassed, but could be anyone affected by an offensive conduct. So another legal issue is the employee privacy or yung confidentiality. So, employee privacy, sabi nga natin, it is a great challenge as HR professional that need to maintain is the confidentiality. Ano po? Maintaining confidentiality in a workplace is both an ethical as well as a legal responsibility. If you fail to maintain this, you will not just lose your reputation but also lose your job as a human resource management. Sabi nga, in rare cases, sabi, pwede ka daw makulong, or makapag-demand ng financial compensation kapag ka nag-leak yung mga information. Kaya nga, sabi natin, you must abide these norms seriously, lalo na kung ikaw ay involved dun sa human resource management. And the last one with regards to legal issues ay yung tinatawag nating mga developing policies. Sabi nga po natin kanina, kailangan aware tayo dun sa mga pagbabago, dun sa mga batas, kaugnay ng mga polisiya, kaugnay ng human resource management. Dapat alam natin ano ba yung mga labor rights and implications. Sabi natin, every individual has certain labor rights that given them security when they work in an organization. And each organization has to abide by these laws and rules and make sure that the workers get their basic rights while working. Sabi, an employee also deserves a proper remuneration and a notice period of specified duration before being removed from the job. So, for termination, kailangan mayroong proper process. So, another legal issues na hindi ko na po naisama dito. Bigay ko na lang po yung halimbawa. For example, law of organization. Kasi as an organization or as a small company, mayroon tayong sariling batas na ipinapatupad sa loob ng ating, halimbawa sa isang paaralan na para sa atin lang. Okay? Or another one na hindi ko na rin po isinama pero well aware naman siguro lahat. Yung tax law. So, kailangan nating mag-abide dun sa existing tax law. Isa pa po sa mga issues na po with regards to human resource management ay yung tinatawag nating ethical issues. So, ethical issues, ano nga ba yung mga ethical issues na nag-exist? Here as follows. So, some of the ethical issues na mayroon sa human resources natin is as follow. For example, yung employee responsibility, cash and compensation plan, performance appraisal, privacy issue, race and disability, tapos safety and health, employment issues, restructuring and layoffs. Uunahin ko po muna yung mga employment issues natin. As HR professionals, we are likely to face maximum ethical dilemmas in the areas of hiring our employees. Halimbawa, yung pressure to hire a friend or relative of highly placed executive. Or sa halimbawa naman, isa pang issue dito, yung fake credentials submitted by a job applicant. And another one, last example natin, discovery that an employee who has been with the organization for some time is skilled and established a successful record had lied about his educational credentials. Nagsinungaling pa lang sa credential, pinatay ko na agad, sorry po. So, next point is the cash and compensation plan. It includes also yung issues like basic salaries, yung mga annual increments or incentives, executive prerequisites, and long-term incentives plan. Halimbawa, yung basic salary natin. HR managers have to justify a higher level of basic salaries or higher level of percentage increase than the competitors to retain some employees. Executive perquisites natin, sometimes excesses are often committed, the ethical burden of which falls on the HR managers. Sometimes the cost of these perquisites are out of promotion to value added. Such example po ng mga employment issues natin is yung employees discrimination. A framework of law and regulations has been evolved to avoid the practices of treatment of employees on the basis of their, halimbawa, sex, religion, disability, age, etc. The organization can openly practice any discriminatory policies. So, with regards to selection, training, development, appraisal, and etc. Halimbawa, sabihin natin, a demanding ethical challenge arises when there is a pressure on the HR manager to protect the firm or an individual at the expenses of some belonging to the group which is being discriminated against. So, ibig sabihin, regardless po na kung ano man yung religion, sex, or disability ng isang tao, we must give them proper employment opportunity as stated dun sa mga legal issues natin kanina. So, with performance appraisal naman po, sabi natin, ethics should be the basis of performance evaluation. Kung mapapansin niyo, di ba, dun sa ating ITCRF, isa sa tinitingnan doon yung professional ethics natin, di ba? Isa yung sa tinitingnan. So, for performance evaluation, ethics must be the basis. So, highly ethical performance appraisal demands that there should be an honest assessment, honest assessment of the performances, and steps should be taken to improve the effectiveness of employees. However, the HR managers sometimes face the dilemma of assigning higher rates to employees who are not deserving them, halimbawa, based on some unrelated factors. Sample po dito yung tinatawag nating closeness to the top management. O tayo sa school, yung sino yung pinakamalapit sa principal. O kung sino yung pinaka-close ng principal, baka may mataas na sweldo. Ethical issue is also included in our privacy. Yung mga privacy issue natin. The private life of an employee which is not affecting his professional life should be free from intrusive and unwarranted actions. Halimbawa po ng mga dilemma dito, yung relates to, halimbawa, yung mga whistleblowing. Whistleblowing refers to a public disclosure by former or current employee of any illegal, immoral, or illegitimate practices involving their employers. Generally po, employees are not expected to speak against their employers because their first loyalty in towards the organization for which they work. However, the situation is such that some act of organization can cause considerable harm to society. It may become obligatory to whistleblow. Lalo na po kung nagiging banta na siya sa safety and security. So, as an HR manager, kailangan din nating nakikita yung safety and health ng ating mga employees. Ngayon nga, maswerte tayo, meron na tayong mental health. Dati, walang pakialam kahit mag-overwork si teacher. So, legislations have been created making it mandatory on the organization and manager to compensate the victim of occupational hazards. May mga hazard pay na tayong tinatamasa ngayon. Halimbawa, noong during pandemic, yung kasagsagan ng COVID-19, yung mga pumasok sa school, they are risking their health. Kaya naman, bilang compensation, naka-receive sila ng mga hazard pay. And last ethical issue is restructuring and layoffs. Minsan yung restructuring of organization often result in layoffs and retrenchment. This is not unethical, but if it is conducted in an atmosphere of fairness and equity and with the interest of the affected employees in mind, if the restructuring company require closing, halimbawa yung mga school na nagsara, then the process by which the employee have been chosen, ay di siguro naman po ay mas maiintindihan nila. Ang proseso po kasi dito yung titingnan, is it ethically important. So, yun na lamang po at maraming salamat. Isa lang pong paalala, kapag sinabi nating ethical, ibig sabihin, tama po ba yung ginagawa nating mga desisyon? Ano?